Wrestling fans, especially AWE wrestling fans, joining me at this time in the Pro Wrestling Underground. They are Jake Parker and Raylen Albey, the Vanguard. Also, as I was corrected earlier today, with their coach, Ethan Case, all the way from the Palmetto State. How are you guys today?
Doing great. How are you? Feeling great being in the Carolinas instead of Georgia.
We will agree to disagree there.
You're entitled to your incorrect opinions.
As are you.
It's just stealing our stuff.
Yeah, that's what we do in Georgia. We take everybody's ideas and make them our own and make you
Hey,
think
you
that.
said it.
Yep. It's 100%. It's how media works too. But of course, I have you guys on. There is a massive show coming up here unfortunately for you guys, in Georgia, but at the Palenque Center in Marietta this Sunday, as the Vanguard will face one of those classic tag teams, potential Hall of Famers, known as the Good Brothers. Now, last I checked, I saw that on the last AWE show at the convention, you guys kind of had a tangle up with them. What kind of led to that?
Oh well, we weren't planning on starting anything. We were just we were coming out for our scheduled match with our boy James. We happened to see them set up there in the corner, and we thought it rude of us to not go say hi.
You need to introduce yourselves.
At least.
Exactly. It's the least we could do. And they took offense to that.
They got a little uppity. They stood up all big and bad out their chairs, and we just came to say hi. They're the ones that took the step forward into our faces. So
one thing these Palmetto boys don't do is back down. So come one, come all, and they'll all fall the same. You know what I mean?
That is something I have learned in the short time I've seen you guys, and I got to agree with the footage that I saw, because first, all we see the footage of is what looks like is you guys starting it. But when I found the rest of the story out, yeah, you guys were just doing the good brother thing of saying hello. It's what you do in the wrestling business. You try to network, you try to say we've never met, and they took offense to it. It's just, the new guard or the Vanguard trying to say hey to the old guard, and they didn't like it.
They didn't like it one bit.
Hey, old guard's your words, not ours.
We didn't say that, but not here to disagree.
In all fairness, I think I'm older than both of them, but there's definitely the old guard. But of course, this leads to a match, because that's how wrestling works. Anytime two people more than casually shake hands anywhere near a wrestling ring, that typically means there's going to be a match involved, and that's going to be front and center this weekend. And something that kind of pops in my head about it is, even though a majority of the AWE fans don't like you guys because they consider you guys outsiders or out of towners from being from the Carolinas, you guys actually, to me, are the home team here, because you guys are the AWE staple tag team. They're the ones coming in trying to stake territory that they've yet to step foot in.
I mean, as I would prefer not to think of it that way. We don't want to give Georgia that grace of having us be from there. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that's why we're there to begin with, right? Like we came down there to try and help them to make the company and the shambles that is the Georgia wrestling scene a better place to be.
Absolutely. The best thing they did was put the Vanguard front and center, because what better way to make Georgia better than to have the South Carolina boys come in and clean things up?
We're just trying to raise the bar, trying to make the average quality increase a little bit for the sake of Georgia. And for some reason, they seem to have a problem with us coming in and shaking things up. But hey,
they're the ones that got in our business. We left them alone. We said hi. We were handling our business in the rings, and then they wanted to come stick their nose where it didn't belong. Now, unfortunately, they gotta deal with the Vanguard. And again, I said it earlier: come one, come all. They all fall the same, brother.
And you guys have left quite a few teams in your wake, just in the small amount of time I have seen. At some point, I'm sure they'll put together an actual tag division where there are belts and things like that. But until then, there's quite a few teams in AWE. Is there one in particular that you guys would consider rivals, or maybe your favorite ones to beat up, or whatever one's kind of top your list.
I think the only one that comes to mind right now is the hierarchy. I don't think there's anybody else really that's on our radar right now that.
And let it be said, that accounts for all variations of that group, because we've thrown hands with various different combinations. And so that stands for whichever pairing they decide to put together that night. It's always welcome. Happily. That's a beef that never seems to settle. As often and as hard as we try.
The goal when we came here to Georgia was to make Georgia better. And the best way we could start is by taking over this tag team division and starting to get some things going in there that are worth the entertainment and worth the ticket buyer's purchase. And I think we've been doing a great job at that so far.
I mean, we've already shown how much we can improve a division through their junior division.
Tristan Moody. He's over in Japan right now. He's actually got AWE's title.
He has made their title a world title.
He has.
Yep.
That's on our name. So
there's a reason they call him the standard. He is now the standard of that division.
The proof is in the pudding. I don't understand why they still seem to have some kind of resignation to us being there, trying to help. But they're their own worst enemies, I guess. And the Good Brothers are welcome to be a part of that. We just ask you wipe your feet on the mat before you step into our ring. You're the one that said this is now becoming our home. Have some respect. That's all we ask.
Don't get me wrong. We know what they're capable of. We know what they've done. They've traveled the world. Championships everywhere they've gone. They fought Hall of Famers. They fought legends. They fought everybody. But they ain't fought us yet.
That's very true. And there's actually something about your team that is, to me, unique. You don't see this very often. Sometimes it happens before or after somebody's a team, but not usually while they're during a team, is when you guys aren't tagging together, there's a lot of promotions where you guys are fighting over the top crowns and the top titles. And at the end of the day, you shake hands and you jump right back in the same boat and you're back spearheading again as a team. Most teams don't go against each other as singles as they're a team, but I think that actually is a strength of you guys.
I think it goes back to the age-old, iron sharpens iron. And why to get better, wouldn't you want to face the best that you have to offer? And, anytime I get to step in with my brother, I always end up getting better out of it. Then we go out there, we put on a war and grow from it.
We as a group, we as a school, we as proud Carolinians know quality when we see it. So why wouldn't you want to be in there against the best and have the best standing by your side?
No argument can be made from there. How did you guys first get paired up?
Like minds meets happenstance. An opportunity was presented to take a spot. We had two mutual minds decide to seize it together. And now the rest is history.
And the rest is history. And you continue making history.
There's a lot more to be made.
Absolutely. And of course, we're talking with the Vanguard, Jake Parker and Raylen Albey, and just out of camera view, I think he's on camera duty, is their coach, Ethan Case. Ethan, I want you to step in for a second and, kind of tell people for people who don't know the Vanguard, what made you want to take them under your wing and put them in the positions they're in now?
100%. Not on camera duty. We have a guy for that. Jake and Raylen are both products of the Star Lab. So they went through the entire training program that I do. I'm going to tell you one thing that's going to happen. I know Doc and Carl are probably really used to guys coming in and being nervous or not being ready for this opportunity. But this is what we train for. I train these guys at a high level to come in and, they haven't been wrestling long. It's a few years each. And it's one of those things where when we came into Carolina, the point was that the way I train people 2-3 years into their career are better than the guys that are 12, 15 in Georgia. And that was the point I wanted to make. And these two guys have really stepped up to the occasion.
Absolutely. And like I said, for people, obviously people out this way that are unfamiliar with all the great success that your entire group is having out in the Carolinas, you guys are kind of burning a Sherman-like path all the way through from the Carolinas all the way into Alabama, I believe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Anywhere and everywhere.
And as you guys were saying, the other people as part of the groups, we get to see just a handful that are in AWE, whether it's Tristan or any of those there. Even
I think I lost you for a second. What was that?
There, yeah. I was like, we get to see just a small sampling of the group from the Star Lab and everything that you bring into Atlanta. What goes into you choosing who's coming from the Star Lab to help take over other territories like this?
It really does. It's the guys that are putting in the work in the class. Yeah, it's like we just brought in James Johnson in the absence of Tristan Moody, who hands down is one of the best talents around. And it was really a scheduling thing for him. But, I've got DPJ, which is Dennis Parker Jr., by the way. I know a lot of the write-ups say differently, but it's Dennis Parker Jr. And Jonathan Moody on the crew, who, is a standout amateur wrestler also. And it's one of those things where, the guys come in here, they come into class multiple days a week, they're busting it, and whoever the top guys are coming out of that is who I want to take.
And I'm glad you clarified what DPJ stood for, because I had only heard it the incorrect way up until right now. So now I can correctly call Dennis by his government name.
Yeah, you hear that, Larry? It's Dennis Parker Jr.
But as we're finishing up here with the Vanguard, like we said, they will face Doc Gallows or Luke Gallows or whoever he wants to call his first name this time around, and Machine Gun Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers, this Sunday at the El Palenque Center in Marietta. Obviously, you guys know to look out for the Magic Killer and some of the other things they do. How do you guys see this going to where this is, the end of this match is the Good Brothers being brought front and center, and then you guys with your hands in the air?
Here, so that's kind of the difference maker, I think, is that's what we're training for now. That's why we're here today, is prepping for this match. I highly doubt they're sitting around watching Vanguard footage. So it's all about being prepped, and that's exactly what they're doing today.
There you go. And then I will leave it to you guys with normally I have a fan related question. At this in this case, since you guys are not very popular with the AWE fans, I will leave it to this.
Thank God. I'm right.
What is your lasting message to the Good Brothers on what they can expect on Sunday?
I think it's pretty simple. It'll be us showing up, wafting to the stink that is Atlanta, standing across from them in the ring. Things will happen. Dominoes will fall. But in their words, the story always ends the same, right? With us, front and center, 1, 2, 3, and that's just too bad.
There you go.
I'll add this real quick too. Hey, look, that's just one match. That's one match on Sunday. We're coming for the sweep, and then me and the boys, we're going to load up and go celebrate at Marietta Diner.
Get there, George.
There you go. And that was the Vanguard and their coach, Ethan Case. This Sunday at the El Palenque Center in Marietta, they will face the Good Brothers. And, of course, as they said, Murder One has his side. Ethan Case has his side. It's going to be a massive war. I am Jeremy the Impact York. Thanks for joining us for a special edition of Pro Wrestling Underground. We will see you guys next week. Deuces, gooses. Go watch wrestling.